What first got you excited about blockchains? Think about it. Oh wait. I bet it wasn't multi-million-dollar hacks, exposed data, or finding somewhere safe to store your seed phrase. Was it? Maybe it was the idea of decentralizing a broken financial system. Maybe it was imagining a world where people own their own data and get to sharing the value it creates. Or maybe it was the promise of a fundamentally better way of connecting, communicating, and transacting. The next phase of the internet that empowers us instead of exploiting us. So why hasn't that happened yet? Why are we still living with the same broken system that blockchains promise to fix? It's because blockchains can't keep a secret. Enabling open, transparent systems was only the first half of the challenge. For blockchains to really change the world, they also have to be able to protect our sensitive data when it matters. And that's why we built Midnight, to bring down the final barrier to mass adoption and unlock the full potential of the decentralized web. Let's build the internet we deserve, together.
Ladies and gentlemen, we all know this in crypto. Ownership matters. That's why Cake Wallet. Cake Wallet gives you full control of your digital assets, all in one easy-to-use application. You can store Bitcoin, Litecoin, Zcash, Monero, and many more with just one secure backup. Swap between coins in seconds. No copying addresses, no complicated steps, and even includes Bitcoin Lightning for faster payments. And with Cake Wallet built in, you can use crypto in real life through debit cards or gift cards. Simple, secure, self-custody. Download Cake Wallet and take control of your crypto. Welcome to the breakdown. No tie on today, just suit and shirt. Episode 696, 4 episodes away from the big number 700. My name is David Gockstein. If you're tuning in for the first time, and yes, we will not be on TikTok for the next 2 days. Shout out to TikTok. But let's go ahead before we get started. Before I get my thoughts on what's happening here, and we're definitely going to touch on what Trump said and tweeted out. And we'll talk about the markets and all that good stuff. But Midnight is the title sponsor for this show. Shout out to Midnight. Shout out to Charles. Shout out to Polymarket. Polymarket is the official prediction market sponsor of the DG brand. And also the breakdown. Cake Wallet, secure wallet, one of the most secure wallets in this industry. Go to cakewallet.com to get more information. Shout out to Vic and the entire staff. Everybody's like, why? And I'll tell you, because it's a really serious situation now. It's really serious in terms of, these types of conversations are serious. And also People's Reserve. Shout out to People's Reserve. Use your Bitcoin as collateral to go ahead and get collateral so you can go ahead and get yourself a house and all that good stuff. RWA is a big time now. Anyway, yeah, you wake up to news. By the way, shout out to anybody who's tuning in from TikTok. Obviously, TikTok went ahead and they put me in the penalty box because we aired Trump's press conference yesterday. And during that press conference, Trump went ahead and called Biden, or he stated that Kim Jong-un went ahead and called Biden a mentally retarded person. Those were not our views. Okay, that was not the views. That's not my view. That's not my brand's view. Okay, we're here to report news, and we stream live like everybody else, like the AP and AP, Fox, everybody broadcasted the same thing that we were broadcasting straight from the White House. And I get put in the penalty box because Trump goes out there and calls Biden, you know, uh, and these are Trump's words. He said that Kim Jong Un went ahead and called Biden a mentally retarded person. So I don't get it. What do you want us to do? Like we don't have. He's not scripted. We already know that Trump is 100% not scripted. He's gonna say what he wants to say, and that's it. Bottom line. Bottom line. Like, what do you want? What do you want us to do? There ain't no script. And even if he's given a script, he ain't sticking to it. So like coming at your boy and shit. All right, cool. We'll serve a few minutes in the penalty box. That's fine. It is what it is. It is what it is, man. Whatever. That's why I say you have to have multiple network. I put out a talking point yesterday saying that you have to be on multiple networks. If you are I don't consider myself a content creator. I consider myself more of a media personality. But if you're a content creator or a media personality, you have to make sure that you have or appear on every single social media platform. You can't be stuck to one. You just can't be stuck to one or you're going to fuck yourself. So I've been saying that for a very long time. I've been saying this for, rewind the tapes, I've been saying this for years now, that you need to go ahead and expand your brand. I remember when somebody came to me and said, hey, David, you got to expand your brand. You can't just be on X or Twitter at that time. You need to continue to expand. I'm like, nah, I like it here, but look what's happening with Twitter, right? Look what's happening with crypto Twitter. People are on the timeline talking about all their followers. They're losing followers. People are getting their accounts shut down, apparently. People that don't have a lot of posts or followers to them are getting their accounts, there are a lot of people that sign up for an account and they never tweet. But they're getting caught up in this whole, crypto fucking mess right now. Crypto's not bad. Well, we'll talk about crypto. We'll get to that. All right. Let's get right to the Trump thing. Let me pull this up here. Let me pull this up. Let me pull this up here. I'm going to give you my thoughts. I'll give you my thoughts on what I think. So Trump, should I pull it up here? Fuck. Everything starts going off. All right, let's go ahead and pull it up here as well. Let me fucking get this up here. People have been asking me, David, when are you bringing on more guests next month? Or maybe this month. I don't know. I rescheduled. It's on me. But we'll have Michael Saylor back on. We'll have a lot of people back on. And you know what? I got to say, I've had great conversations with all the guests that have appeared on the show and that are going to appear on the show. So I've had DMs, people ask me, hey, you'll bring on. Yeah. And if you would like to appear on the show, you can go onto my website. Go onto my website. There's a section, davidgockstein.com. There's a section on there to go ahead and appear on the show. But break down why you want to be on the show too, because we'll look through it. And like, if you just will say I want to be on the show and like you have nothing to fucking offer, like, you can go fuck yourself. Anyway, let's look at what Trump said here. Let's look at this together. Okay. Here we go. All right. Yeah, I can't speak to anybody, man. All right, so let's go right to this. Hold on, do I have to pick that up? Why is it so low? Why is this so like low? Is that better, man? All right. So here's Trump. This is what I think it's the first thing I saw today. I think it was like the first thing that I saw today. I think. I'm not sure. But Trump goes ahead and says the whole, let me just bring this up from here. The whole civilization a whole civilization will die tonight, never to be brought back again. I don't want that to happen, but it probably will. However, now that we have complete and total regime change, where different, smarter, and less radical minds prevail, maybe something revolutionary, wonderful can happen. Who knows? We'll find out tonight. One of the most important moments in the long and complex history of the world. 47 years of extortion, corruption, and death will finally end. God bless the great people of Iran. So, is Trump going to drop a nuke? Like, is this where we're heading, or I don't know. Like, I don't know. It sounds like, I mean, like a whole civilization will die tonight. Um, Look, I'm sure he's not. He's not implying the poor Iranian people that have been suffering under this regime for God knows how long. I'm sure he's not going after them. This is going after a regime that 100% has been horrible, not just to its own people, but towards the United States and the entire world. Big decision. I mean, and JD Vance was at a conference, and he was backing what Trump was saying, essentially. So, are we going to see something happen here? Is Trump bluffing? Do you guys think Trump is bluffing here? Do you think Trump is actually, just flapping away here? Do you think in the next 3 or 4 hours he comes out with a different message? Do you think Iran comes to the table, the regime comes to the table and starts having conversations? I know they pulled out this morning after seeing the tweet, but do you think that they finally come to the table and say, you know what? This guy's about to go ahead and take us the fuck out. He's about to take us the fuck out. So let's go ahead and get back to the table. I don't think they come back to the table. I think this regime is ready to call Trump's bluff, and I don't know why I feel this way. And I might be wrong, but I feel like Trump is ready to go ahead and just destroy them. And I'm going to tell you why. Even though I believe that that this entire operation has been successful, I do believe it's been successful. Obviously, we've taken out their Navy. We've taken out everything. It's only liberal media that'll tell you that it is liberal media. Let's call it liberal. Liberal media, 90%, which is, 90% of mainstream media is owned by liberals. And the type of liberals that actually hate Trump, like they despise him and they won't, some of them are going on to the CNN panel and they're just fucking rooting for the United States of America to lose. So even though I believe that the United States of America has done a great job executing, seeing that the regime is, first of all, I don't even know who's leading this regime. Every report which is confirmed from both sides, they keep on taking out all these fucking leaders within this fucking terroristic regime. So let's put that to the side. I don't even know who the fucking leader is. Like, when they brought out the cardboard version of the new supreme leader, man, I started fucking laughing. I was like, are you fucking joking me? Are you kidding? Like, is this a fucking joke? I would not be surprised if we do something like shock and awe. I don't know if it's going to be a nuke. I don't know if we drop a nuclear weapon. I don't know if that happens. I really don't know. I hope it doesn't. That'd be crazy. That would be absolutely crazy to drop a nuclear weapon. I don't think Trump's going to do that, but I think the United States of America has weapons that, essentially can do the same type of job as dropping a nuke. Like I really believe like we have such sophisticated technology we have and weaponry that we have not seen yet. So I don't know if Trump would go out. Like, here's my thing, man. I'm going back and forth live with you guys. Like, I'm live on air right now. I'm thinking out loud. Like, I really am thinking out loud. Like, what is Trump going to do? Like, because if here's the thing, if he's bluffing, I'll give you this scenario. He says this. Iran doesn't back down. These people, the regime is not going to back down. They're absolutely not going to back down. They're willing to die for the cause. So it's like, okay. So it's either he does something, because if he doesn't do anything, nobody's ever taken him seriously again. Not a single country is going to take, like, they will take liberties with, they will take every single liberty with the United States of America after this. I'm telling you right now, like, if you sit back and you think about this, we're thinking together here, right? You've tuned into the show. We're thinking together. If he doesn't, if let's say Iran does not come back to the table and they say, go ahead, do whatever you want to do at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and Trump doesn't do the shit, nobody's taking him seriously. And no country is going to take America seriously. I'm not advocating for us to do anything. All I'm saying is Trump has put himself in a position to where he has to do it. Like, he has to have this shock and awe event in order to go ahead and keep America's reputation intact. And that is, if we say something, we're going to do it. I understand Trump with the social media game. He goes back and forth. He's playing the. You guys think he doesn't know what he. Here's the funniest part. You guys think he doesn't know what he's doing. He knows absolutely what the fuck he's doing. He knows what he's doing. He absolutely knows what he's doing. He goes back and forth, but it's intentional. It's intentional. You got, like, some of these people that have low IQs, they don't understand it. He is purposely doing this. When he goes and he tweets on social media, he purposely goes ahead and says one thing and then another thing the next minute. He has you scratching your heads like, what the fuck is happening here? I don't think he's lost his mind. Like, a lot of these influencers, political influencers, saying that Trump has lost his mind. We need to take him out of office. Da, 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 da. I don't think he's lost his mind. He's there. He's there. He just knows that social media is effective. And he's using it towards his benefit. Again, do I think this happens? I don't know. I don't know. What the hell? What the fuck is going on, man? What is happening today, man? I don't know what the fuck is happening on my stream today. This is fucking ridiculous. Hold on. Let me see. What is this? Welcome to the breakdown. Only on the break. Oh, I honestly, I'm starting to despise Restream. Honestly. Here I am. I'm fucking going for it. And here, now I'm trying to figure out how to fix this. How do I fucking fix this shit? How do I fucking fix this? What the fuck is going on? It's like a ghost came into the goddamn fucking stream. Look at this. I can't. Are you kidding me right now? Are you fucking kidding me? Hold on, let me see. Oh my god, if I refresh, what happens? What happens if I refresh? Oh my God, this is crazy. Y'all can't even see me. Y'all see me now. Holy shit. What the hell is happening? Yeah, I'm being hacked. I am being hacked. Oh my God. This is crazy. Yeah, I can't. Hold on. Let's see. Let me be right back. Hold on. Hold on. Let me see what happens here. It's like another person entered the goddamn thing, bro. What the fuck is going on, bro? This is crazy. Hold on. I'm gonna have to do so. I don't know if this is gonna stop the show though. Oh my God, this is absolutely insane. Absolutely fucking insane. Absolutely insane. Sorry, you gotta give me a second. I gotta figure this out. I have no clue what the fuck is going on, man. No fucking clue. Okay. So here I am. Right now it's stating like there's 3 people here. Like that is so fucking weird. Stop sharing. Okay. What in the fuck is going on? Look at this. I am out here. What the fuck is happening? Like, yo, this is crazy. I'm ready to read the news. I can't get this to work. I can't get this shit to work. This is crazy. This is wild. Hold on. This is the first time that I've ever experienced some shit like this. Like there's a ghost in the machine. Do I continue like this? Like, what do I fucking do here? Oh my God. Anyway, fine. I'll just continue like this. I don't know what to do here. I really don't know what the fuck to do here. I guess I will continue the stream as is. Welcome to the breakdown. Crypto markets seemingly are they down? I have crypto. I have Bitcoin at 68,314. Got Ethereum at 2,000. Got Solana at $78. Got XRP at $1.30. Gold is at 46.92, and we look like we're down 0.3% on the SPX. So I don't know. I don't know. I'm frustrated right now that I'm like, look at this. I can't get this to work. I'm frustrated. This is crazy. This is crazy. Holy shit. And I have people tuned in and they're fucking, God damn it, man. God damn. What the fuck happened? This is crazy. I've never seen some shit like this in my life. I've never maximized. Boom. All right. For the time being, I'm back this way. Okay, fuck it. It is what it is. Finally. Holy shit. Holy shit. Holy fucking shit, man. Holy crap. Let's take a commercial break. I'll be back right after this. We'll restart this and
What first got you excited about blockchains? Think about it. Oh wait. I bet it wasn't multi-million-dollar hacks, exposed data, or finding somewhere safe to store your seed phrase. Was it? Maybe it was the idea of decentralizing a broken financial system. Maybe it was imagining a world where people own their own data and get to sharing the value it creates. Or maybe it was the promise of a fundamentally better way of connecting, communicating, and transacting. the next phase of the internet that empowers us instead of exploiting us. So why hasn't that happened yet? Why are we still living with the same broken system that blockchains promised to fix? It's because blockchains can't keep a secret. Enabling open, transparent systems was only the first half of the challenge. For blockchains to really change the world, they also have to be able to protect our sensitive data when it matters. And that's why we built Midnight, to bring down the final barrier to mass adoption and unlock the full potential of the decentralized web. Let's build the internet we deserve, together.
Ladies and gentlemen, we all know this in crypto. Ownership matters. That's why Cake Wallet. Cake Wallet gives you full control of your digital assets, all in one easy-to-use application. You can store Bitcoin, Litecoin, Zcash, Monero, and many more with just one secure backup. Swap between coins in seconds. No copying addresses, no complicated steps, and even includes Bitcoin Lightning for faster payments. And with Cake Wallet built in, you can use crypto in real life through debit cards or gift cards. Simple, secure, self-custody. Download Cake Wallet and take control of your crypto. All right, I'm back. I didn't feel like wearing a tie today, man. Today I was like, I'm not putting on a fucking tie today. I'm not putting on a goddamn tie. I'm not. And I'm thinking about it because I've seen video. I've seen video today where they are lining up Iranians next to these power plants, which obviously Trump has stated that they're going to be attacking the plants and the bridges. And you see there's a huge line of people that are just, wrapped around these plants. And it's just, Fran, you didn't understand. I was a bad boy. Fran, I was a bad boy. TikTok has taken me down for 2 to 3 days. And for playing a video that was streaming straight from the White House. So apparently we are not allowed to report on anything that has anything to do with President Donald J. Trump. AJ, I know I don't need a tie every day. I just like having a tie on. When I wear a suit, I just feel like Iron Man. Really, that's the kind of the thing that I think of. Like when I wear a suit, when you have a tie, it's just like you feel like Iron Man. When I don't have a tie on, I'm all about business right now. I really am all about business because this is, if I'm not trying to be dramatic here, like I'm taking the news for what it is. Like if Trump is serious right now about what he's saying here, annihilating a civilization, a whole civilization, that means that, you're about to use some devastating weapons to go ahead and do that. Like, what does that mean? Like, what does that mean? Like, you can't, even if you send troops in, you're not taking down a whole civilization. The only way to do that is dropping a nuke, right? Or dropping, you drop an advanced weapon on Iran. That's really what it comes down to. Like, how else are you going to take out a civilization? So you sit back, and this is serious. Like, this is serious conversation. Yeah, I'm a Republican. Yeah, I'm a diehard MAGA guy. And yeah, I support the President of the United States of America. 100%. I support him. I voted for him. I support him. But again, you're in a position, like I said earlier, he's in a position that he has to do something. Because again, they're calling his bluff. Like, that's the whole thing. Like, Iran is calling his bluff because they don't believe that the United States of America will do anything. They don't believe Trump will do anything. And Trump, I don't know if the Trump administration is kind of like waiting here right now for a phone call or to get a phone call from this regime or whatever is left of it to say, hey, we're willing to go ahead and negotiate. I don't know if that's going to happen. Like, I don't see that happening. I see, like, these people are ready to die for the cause. That's what I'm saying. Like, they are ready. So two things happen. One, like, if he drops a weapon that does take out a whole civilization, nobody's going to be really playing around with the United States of America anymore. They'll be like, and they're not gonna fuck around with Trump either. They'll be like, fucking, this guy's crazy. If he doesn't do anything, then the credibility is absolutely thrown out the window. Like, nobody's ever going to fucking believe what Trump says, and like the United States of America will not be taken seriously. I'm just, these are my fucking thoughts. These are my thoughts, and I'm not being sarcastic today. I'm not trying to get you to laugh. This is a serious moment. It really is a serious fucking moment. It really is. Like, April 7th, 2026 is absolutely a serious moment right now for the United States of America and for the world. Obviously, I back my president. I back the United States of America. I'm not going to root against the military like some of these people that live in the United States of America, rooting against the military, hoping that the military loses. I'm not about that life. I'm a proud American, red, white, and blue through these fucking veins, born here, love this country. When Biden was in office, I didn't root against Biden, okay? I might have not liked Biden's policies, but I didn't root against Biden. And if Biden ever was in this situation, I would not be rooting against Biden. I'd question things just like I'm questioning right now. I hope that we have a strategy. I really hope we have a fucking strategy here. I hope we're not just going in blind. And now I don't want to sound like one of these people that are out here with a microphone saying like that the Trump administration doesn't have a strategy. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying I hope we do. I hope we do, because like here, I just don't see any middle ground here. I just see, I'm calling for what it is. Either Iran comes to the table before 8 p.m. or Trump's doing something. And like, I'm going to say something and it might offend people, but BB's ready, man. BB's ready. Trump wants to end shit. I know BB doesn't. Like, I'm saying something that will probably have me kicked out of every Jewish circle. But it's the truth. I have plenty of Israeli friends. I love Jewish people, man. But I don't agree with BB, man. Like, I just don't agree with BB. And I think that, like, he just wants to really take out everything. He's done things to where he hasn't alerted Trump. Like, what do you want me to say? Like, if you have the United States of America backing you and you don't tell the United States of America that you're doing certain things, I'm not with that, man. I don't give a fuck what country you are. Israel, Spain, or whatever. I don't give a fuck. I'll name them all out. I don't care. Like, if you're not communicating with the president of the free world, man, like, the leader of the free world, no. It's just it's a big no for me. It's funny though. People will say, people say all sorts of type of shit about me on fucking social media when it comes to these topics. I can tell they've never watched the show. I call for what it is. Like, I try my best to call for what it is. So yeah, that's the conclusion that I'm coming to. I don't know how you guys feel. I don't know how the chat feels, but that's the conclusion that I've come down to, is either he does something, and by doing something, he shows the entire world, like, we're not fucking around. Like, when we say we're going to do something, we do it. And that sends a chilling message to a lot of countries, China, Russia, a lot of people. will look at this and say, okay, this is crazy. Like, we're not fucking with America, especially with Trump at the helm. We ain't gonna fuck with America. Or you don't do nothing, and there are major consequences. People will look at Trump and say that he's just bluffing. All the talk that he puts out there, it's all bluffs. So there's nothing to be scared of, and you'll have regimes that'll take advantage of it. That's really it. That's the only way that you can put it. It really is. Unlike others, I agree with going to Iran. Now, it's easy for me to say because I'm not dressing up in camouflage gear, military gear. I'm not strapping on the boots. I'm not boots on the ground. I get it. I understand. Okay. All I'm saying, though, is being that we're there now, I'm okay with it because this regime has been nothing but a thorn to everybody for decades. Not even, forget about just the entire world, to their own people. I mean, they've killed innocent people, their own people, they've killed. And it's the West's fault, okay? It's the West. You can blame the West for what's happening in Iran for 4 decades. You can't, because they allowed this regime to get into power. When everything was totally fine, they allowed for this shit to happen, okay? So what happens when the West gets involved, okay? We fuck shit up. We just fuck shit up. I'm going back and forth today, man. I have mixed feelings about this. I really do. I really do have mixed feelings because what happens, okay, we go ahead, let's say we drop whatever weapon that's about to be dropped on Iran. We go ahead and destroy the place completely, leave nothing there. We level it. You're going to have a lot of people that are going to try to do something bad to the United States of America or Americans. Backlash comes from this. But then again, I mean, they've been doing a lot of bad things to Americans for a very long time. So it's like, man, oh man, welcome to the breakdown. Episode 696. Sponsored by Midnight. There's no way out of this. There's absolutely no, I'm trying to think of a way where you can calm the situation down, right? So okay, here's a third option. Here's a third option where countries step in, like major countries step in and say, Trump, hold off. Iran, let's come to the table. And I'm talking about maybe Russia steps in or China steps in. I don't know, Pakistan, India. I'm thinking of countries that just step in and say, hold on, we need a timeout here. We can't, let's not go down this road. Let's give this another 3 to 5 days. Let's find a solution. That's really the only third option that's left. If there is a third option, because to me, there's just either Trump delivers on his word, because you can't go on social media and continue to go back and forth saying that you're going to do something, but then you gave them an extension, and you're going to do something, then you're giving them an extension. You're talking to them, and they're saying that they're not talking to you. At some point, something has to be done to prove that you've done everything possible. I hate it because I kind of sound like a war hawk when I'm not. I'm anti-war. So it's kind of but you can't put yourself in a position like this. You can't tweet something like that out and not deliver. It's just people are now, even if people are against this, they're going to be waiting. I'm going to tell you like this, even look, the CNN panel, right? These liberals are waiting. So here's the liberals. They're waiting. Anybody who hates Trump, they're waiting for, they already have their talking points on both situations. If Trump goes ahead and, I don't know, nukes Iran, then they'll say that he's a madman. They'll have this whole discussion. Okay. If he doesn't do anything, they'll say that Trump doesn't really do anything. He bluffs, he doesn't deliver, and he's made America tiny when it comes to the perception of America with other countries and foreign leaders. This is what they're going to do. They're going to twist this all around. Correct. They're also going to say that these are war crimes and all this shit. They're ready. And not only liberals in this country, I'm just talking about people that hate Trump all across the world, hate America all across the world. They're going to have talking points here. Either way, this shit goes. JD Vance, this is the first time, though, let's call for what it is. JD Vance talked about I haven't heard JD Vance really talk about Iran. Let's call for what it is. I really haven't heard him talk about Iran. I really haven't. I haven't heard him talk about Iran at all. At all. Haven't heard him talk about Iran. Okay. Today he goes ahead and talks about it. I'm trying to find it too. By the way, I'm trying to find this. I'm not quiet. I'm just trying to find this. This is the first time that I'm very, 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 very serious. Very serious today. I really am very serious today. Because this is big, man. This is a big thing, man. This is a big thing. And I'm watching like social media, and I'm reading, what people are putting out there. Especially the political influencers. And they seem like they're switching sides every single second. People that voted for Trump. By the way, Tucker has lost his mind, man. Tucker has absolutely lost his mind. He is being paid. There's speculation, obviously, of course, but I think Tucker's being paid off. But that's speculation. That's absolute speculation. How do you solve this problem, right? Like that's what, like I am a problem solver. Like I really believe that. Like I sit back and I try to solve a problem. I always tell anybody that works with me, like, don't bring me a problem. Don't talk about the problem. Give me the solution. You know how you have a bunch of people that complain about a problem? They'll complain for days about a fucking problem. I'm a person that has grown up around solutions. Like, okay, there's a fucking problem. We know there's a problem. What's the solution? How do we fix the fucking problem? And that's what I'm thinking about right now. Like, instead of complaining, okay, how do you fix the situation in the Middle East? You have Iran. Let's break this whole thing down. You have Iran, who we all know is not the people of Iran, but the regime that used to be there, right? That used to be there. They're toxic, or they were toxic, and they funded terrorism. So whether you're a liberal, a conservative, moderate, it doesn't matter. Like, we can acknowledge that here is a fucking country, or we should specifically aim at the regime that has supported and funded all these terrorist cells and groups and organizations. How can somebody even side with these people? It's crazy. And then I've seen it. I've seen people side with these terrorists, which is absolutely insane. Americans siding with terrorists. Like, I really, honestly, If we roll back to 9/11, like what's happened since 9/11? What has happened what has happened to our world since 9/11, where I didn't think there would ever be a time we would have Americans siding with terrorists. It's mind-blowing that we have people that side with terrorists. They've seen what they've done. Like, there are videos of what these people have done. By the way, you're saying the Epstein files. The Epstein files have been released. That's it. All the Epstein files have been released. The Epstein files that they have been released. So this is not about the Epstein files, okay? Let's save the Epstein file topic for after we're done with this conversation about Iran, the US and Iran, and what happens at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tonight. The whole world's watching, right? This is an international broadcast. It's an international show. I can have the American flag in the back of me, but I have a lot of people that tune in from different countries to watch this show. The whole world is watching. The entire world is watching to see what happens here tonight. The whole world is watching, man. The world is watching. I'm watching myself. I can't wait to show you guys what I built too. This is a moment. This is 100% one of those moments where, like, hopefully everything de-escalates. You know, that's what you pray for. You really do. You pray for peace. Like, any normal, rational person is praying for peace. Right? Can we agree with that? Whether you're a Republican or a Democrat, whatever side of the aisle you're on, you're praying for peace, unless you're Lindsey Graham. So you don't want to see shit go down. You just don't want to see shit go down. But then you got to look at everything. You got to look at everything from a broader picture. And I don't know. I honestly think Trump does it. I think Trump is going to do something. Here's my other thing. Besides Trump doing something, I believe Israel's ready to do something. That's my thing. Israel will be ready to, like, Israel's locked in right now. Like, Israel's locked in because Bibi, his entire mission has been to take out Iran, and for the longest time, for decades. Bibi can't stand Iran. And obviously Iran has done nothing but fund terrorist organizations to go ahead and try to take out Israel. So it's that Iran's regime, remember that, not the people. Not the people. And it's crazy because Iran and Israel used to be very tight before the regime came into play. So, death to America, death to Israel. They keep on chanting it too. Again, the people in the regime, and not not most 80 to 90% of the Iranian people. They just want freedom. They just want to be free. They just want to be free. This is a ballsy move. I got to tell you, this is a fucking ballsy move by Trump to go into this country. No president has ever wanted to go to war with Iran. No president. They talked about it. Senators and representatives have talked about doing something to Iran, but none of them ever wanted to go ahead and really get into the mud with Iran. And here comes Trump. Trump has been talking about this for fucking decades. Way before he had any intentions of running for president, he's been talking about Iran and what he would do and what the United States of America should be doing. What we should have been doing is never, ever sending Iran. We shouldn't have been doing is sending Iran money. Why do we send Iran money? Why would we send a terrorist regime money? This is one thing I don't understand. We sent a terrorist regime money, billions of dollars, thinking that they were going to abide by the rules set forth by all sides. Yet they've been trying to build a nuclear weapon. They built missiles that can now reach the UK. And who knows, maybe the United States of America. They've been using this money to build out their defense. They've been doing everything they said they wouldn't do. So what do you do in this situation? This is such a complicated situation because you have a regime that if they get a nuclear weapon, it is over. It is absolutely fucking over. This is not Iraq. I didn't agree with Iraq. Attacking Iraq, I didn't agree with it. We went ahead and liberated Iraq, and then 3 weeks later they were chanting "Go home, USA." I didn't agree with toppling down Hussein, and taking him. I didn't agree with any of that. And a lot of you guys might be surprised, but I didn't agree with it. We put ourselves in a situation where we spent a lot of money only for the people of that region, even though it's gotten better, I guess. But the people in that region told us to go fuck ourselves and go home, get out of our country. That type of shit. I don't want to go respectfully. I want to see people liberate themselves. The United States of America, our founding fathers, liberated themselves. Okay. Yes, we had help from the French. All I'm saying is, though, we liberated ourselves. You had a bunch of farmers that liberated themselves. We went against one of the strongest navies in history, and we liberated armies. We liberated ourselves. So I don't want to see America be put in that position. I talk about running for president all the time, right? And you guys might think it's a fucking absolute joke. But if I was the president of the United States of America right now, and I said this, if I said that I'm going to go ahead and annihilate an entire civilization, unless somebody tells me they're ready to get on the phone with me, I'm looking for peace. I'm looking for every way to have a peaceful discussion. Hey, let's get to the table. Let's talk about this. Iran, you are never going to have a nuclear weapon. I want every single piece of uranium that you have, I want it sent over to us immediately. You have no control. You are not going to be charging people $2 million to get across the strait. All these things are being put in place. If they're playing around with me like this, it's over. I'm going back and forth, man. I got to tell you, I am going back and forth on this topic. I am absolutely going back and forth on this topic. I am absolutely going back and forth. I understand Trump's play here. China has tried to take over take over our position as the go-to country, right? They've tried this. Venezuela, they invested money into Venezuela. The Panama Canal, Iran. China secretly, for me personally, has done everything possible or did everything possible to position themselves as the world leader, the go-to. And that was under, especially, they, accelerated the process under the Biden administration. So it's like Trump sees this, Trump comes in and he's like, we're not having this. What's the first thing that he does? He takes back the Panama Canal. We built that. The United States of America, we helped build that. How is China controlling something we built? That's terrible. We take that back. We go and take Venezuela. We take that back, and now Venezuela is our partner. That's our partner. We're getting oil from Venezuela, which we can go ahead and produce. We can refine that oil because our oil factories are set up to refine oil like that. We don't have enough factories to refine our own oil. That's why we sell our oil to other countries and we make money on our oil that we export. And we get oil from other countries like Venezuela, which like we pay like 10 cents to the dollar on that shit because nobody can go ahead and produce it except us. This all started when, they boycotted, OPEC boycotted the United States of America when Nixon was in office. So when Nixon was in office and OPEC decided to go ahead and boycott us hand us a severe penalty, I should say, because of our support, because we supported Israel and they did not want us to support Israel. America turned to producing its own energy. So we make money. Like we do produce. We are one of the greatest producers of oil here, but we sell our oil. We make money on that, and then we also buy oil for fucking 10 cents on the dollar, and we can refine it. Other countries can. We can refine oil, like I said, Venezuelan oil, we can refine it. Welcome to the breakdown. So where am I going with this, right? Where am I going with this? You're asking, where am I going with this? Well, again, China was trying to take over. China's buying into Russia. Russia don't like that, but Russia has no other choice. They're fighting. They're too busy fighting a war right now, which they thought they could end in they thought they could take over Ukraine in 3 days. That didn't happen. They really did. Putin really believed that the Russian military can go right into Ukraine and take it all over. And to his surprise, that didn't happen. And obviously, a lot of the supplies that the Ukrainians got were from the United States of America and NATO allies. That's why they're able to go ahead and, compete with Russia. And this war between Russia and Ukraine won't end unless they come to the table, they'll keep fighting forever. They'll keep going at it forever. Russia is not waving the white flag, and nor is Ukraine. They'll keep going. And somehow we got dragged into this. And we know why we got dragged into this, because there's been conversations and speculations about, Ukraine having blackmailed Biden. I mean, again, it's speculation. It is speculation, but I'm just putting it out there. So Trump takes back the Panama Canal, takes back Venezuela. Trump wants Greenland, and he wants Greenland. Yeah, obviously there's minerals there. There's rare earth assets in Greenland. But he also wants it from a defense standpoint. And I kind of look at it and say, yeah, it does make sense, right? Especially now it makes sense because NATO didn't step up and help us. Nobody in NATO wanted to help. So it does make sense to go ahead and have Greenland to where we can monitor what's happening with Russia and China and see how close they are coming to the United States of America and what they're doing in the United. What are they scoping out with their subs? We've seen what China did. China, under the Biden administration, came into America with a fucking spy balloon. And they only shot it down in like right by like what, South Carolina? So they had an enormous amount of time, hours before it was shot down to just spy and take pictures of who knows what. I mean, they were specifically sent a balloon in here, a spy balloon in here, to take pictures of something. Okay, like they could have gone to Google Earth and just like if they needed the landscape of the United States of America, they could have gone to Google Earth. They were looking for something. We allowed that. This is how weak our country was under that administration. Let's call it for what it is. Crypto heads are just mind-boggling to me. A lot of crypto guys, oh my God, I made money under Biden. What are you talking about? Are you just talking about like when they printed money? You could have made money under any president, Republican or Democrat. What are you talking about? Our economy suffered. Our inflation was all-time high. It's never been higher than under Biden. What are we talking about? If you're a crypto head, I don't know how you even support Democrats. I don't even know who's voting for a Democrat. $8 p.m. tonight, ladies and gentlemen. That is what we are waiting for. 8 p.m. tonight. We are waiting to see if Trump does take. If I don't even know what to call it, but if Trump really does take out an advanced weapon, that's what I'll call it. An advanced weapon, whether it's a nuclear weapon or just an advanced weapon, to absolutely obliterate Iran. That's what we're waiting for. We really are. By the way, for those people that say that they're disgusted with Trump, I'm not. What are you talking about? You're disgusted because we have a leader with a pulse that is finally trying to get America back on its feet. That's why you're disgusted with Trump. I'm not disgusted with Trump. Do I agree with everything that's done? No, but I'm not disgusted by Trump. You really believe Biden got 88 million people to vote for him? You guys really believe that 88 million people voted for Joe Biden? You believe that? You actually believe he got more votes than any other president in the United States of America? You really believe 88 million people voted for Joe Biden? I'm telling you right now, if you believe that, then you absolutely have a drug addiction. You might not know about it. Or you have a screw loose and you need to see a therapist. We'll be right back after this commercial break.
What first got you excited about blockchains? Think about it. Oh wait. I bet it wasn't multi-million-dollar hacks, exposed data, or finding somewhere safe to store your seed phrase. Was it? Maybe it was the idea of decentralizing a broken financial system. Maybe it was imagining a world where people own their own data and get to sharing the value it creates. Or maybe it was the promise of a fundamentally better way of connecting, communicating, and transacting. The next phase of the internet that empowers us instead of exploiting us. So why hasn't that happened yet? Why are we still living with the same broken system that blockchains promise to fix? It's because blockchains can't keep a secret. Enabling open, transparent systems was only the first half of the challenge. For blockchains to really change the world, they also have to be able to protect our sensitive data when it matters. And that's why we build Midnight, to bring down the final barrier to mass adoption and unlock the full potential of the decentralized web. Let's build the internet we deserve, together.
Ladies and gentlemen, we all know this in crypto. Ownership matters. That's why Cake Wallet. Cake Wallet gives you full control of your digital assets, all in one easy-to-use application. You can store Bitcoin, Litecoin, Zcash, Monero, and many more with just one secure backup. Swap between coins in seconds. No copying addresses, no complicated steps, and even includes Bitcoin Lightning for faster payments. And with Cake Wallet built in, you can use crypto in real life through debit cards or gift cards. Simple, secure, self-custody. Download Cake Wallet and take control of your crypto. I want to touch on some news here from the UK. The UK will not allow, apparently, the wireless concert, which is always, apparently has been always sponsored by Pepsi. Pepsi first removed themselves from sponsoring the concert just because Ye was involved. And now the UK will not allow Ye to enter the country, so they have canceled the concert. I just want to say, and that is because they're stating that they are, obviously his remarks from the past about Jews, they can't allow, I'm paraphrasing, but they can't allow for somebody who is that anti-Semitic to come into the country. They must protect, Jewish rights. All right, so here's my thing with Ye. Here's my thing, man. These are going to be really hot takes, bro. And I'm not trying to make them hot takes, but these are just my personal opinions. I like Ye's music. Like, I think Ye is one of the greatest. I think he's one of the greatest producers of all time. I really do. I think he's one of the greatest producers of all time. Obviously, he has, and this is speculation again, but he has obviously some sort of chemical imbalance, 100%. And yeah, he said a lot of things that have hurt the Jewish community. But I think he's done everything possible to try to mend fences. So I don't know. I don't know. I'm on both sides. Like I am on both sides of the fence here. I really am. Obviously, at the time when he was speaking and putting out songs, which were obviously, it does hurt. Like no, like you know what? You guys don't have to like Israel. Here's my thing. You don't have to agree with Israel. You don't have to like Israel. You guys, there's a lot of you guys that claim to be, or you claim to have Jewish friends, but you have absolutely no problem like disrespecting your Jewish friends. So it's weird. It's very weird. It's very weird. If anybody, the thing is, if anybody else talk about any other race like this, it would be on the fucking news like 24/7. If anybody did what is happening to Jews, and this is not a victim cry, by the way, but I've watched and I'm watching. If anybody disrespected any other race or culture like they have done for the past year or two to Jews, oh my God, it would be front and center headline news. And that's why when people say that the Jews own mainstream media, it makes me laugh. Because if the Jews own mainstream media, then it would be all over the papers, all over the news. It's not. It's really not. So when you say the Jews own media, I laugh. Or Jews in media? Yeah, but like Jews don't control media. I'm telling you, there will be absolute crazy ass protests if the narrative was controlled by Jews, which it's not. The narrative isn't controlled by Jews. That's the problem. Truth. So again, like there's one thing to hate You can hate Israel, I guess, like for whatever reasons you find to hate Israel, you can. That is your right. But a lot of you guys don't even know why you hate Jews. You hate Israel, and you claim you don't hate Jews, but then you showcase yourself in 4K every day on social media that you do absolutely hate Jews, and you don't even know why. It's the cool thing to do right now. Like right now, it's the cool thing to do. Hate Israel, hate Jews. It's the cool thing to do. But you will look back. I was sitting back today. I was actually sitting back today as I was getting ready for the show. I was like, one day, you will look back at your tweets and you'll either start deleting them because you won't have the same viewpoint anymore. And you'll shake your head and say, man, I really went down a rabbit hole that didn't exist. That'll happen. That 100% will happen. Is there a bad seed in every culture? Yeah. There's a bad seed in every culture. But to see the amount of anti-Semitism is wild now. It really is. You had people do the Hitler salute at a Stars game, Dallas Stars game. You had a few individuals that did the Hitler fucking salute. That's wild that people are embracing a murderer. Hitler wasn't a good guy. He was a murderer. Like, he murdered people. 6 million Jews, but not just Jews either. Christians, Catholics. A lot of people were murdered under Hitler. And here you have people doing the Nazi salute at a hockey game. It's wild. It is absolutely wild. You can be my friend. We can have an argument. We can have a debate. But you can't be my friend, or you can't say that we're friends when you go out there and you're disrespecting me. Like that is not friendship. That is not friendship. That is not friendship. That is you showing your true colors. But again, social media has baptized a lot of people. What I mean by that is it's baptized people to hate Jews. And a lot of people, like I said again, don't even know why they hate Jews. Epstein doesn't represent the Jewish community. Like Epstein, like whenever the Epstein shit is brought up, Epstein does not represent Jews. Like, here's a bad seed that happens to be Jewish that went and did horrific things. He does not represent Jewish culture. He just doesn't. So to put Jews into this category because of one person and maybe a few bad seeds is just wrong, because then, like, okay, then I'd have to go ahead and start looking at every race and okay, then Timothy McVeigh, he went ahead and committed a terroristic act on the United States of America. Oklahoma, anybody remember? So what does that mean? Should we start calling out every Christian now? Do you know where I'm going with this or not? Social media, like I'm telling you right now, social media has done so much damage. I honestly don't know when the healing begins. Like, it is going to take a decade or two for the healing process to see any sort of progress in the healing process. I'm serious. I'm also on the fence that, and I speak to my Jewish people, man, like everything isn't anti-Semitic. And I say this all the time. You can't say everything is anti-Semitic. Just like you can't Just because you got your feelings hurt, you can't say, oh, anti-Semitic. No, it doesn't work that way. When there's real anti-Semitism, you call it out because then you dilute the word. You dilute the word. People are going to call you a victim. And nobody's going to take you seriously. Listen, I was one of the first on my show to go on and say, like, hey, I don't agree with Charlie Kirk's organization being put on the ADL website as an alt-right organization. I was out here saying this shit. You can't do that. Charlie Kirk was like one of the biggest advocates for Israel. One of the biggest, honestly, supporters for Jews. And you're out here putting him on labeling him as an alt-right figure or the organization. I'm telling you, social media has really fucked things up, man. It's given people an audience, right? But this is what I believe. It's given people an audience. They prop up somebody, they pay them enough money, and they tell them to talk about these talking points. That's really how it's going down. Listen, I haven't been offered this. People say I'm paid by Israel. Shit, I will send my invoice into Israel to go ahead and get that $7,000. But nobody's paying me to fucking talk. Nobody's paying me. The show is sponsored by the 4 and more that are coming, but this show is sponsored by 4 sponsors, and you see them every single day. They're not paying me to talk about these type of comments. They want the visibility to be seen by the people that tune into the show. And they're great companies. Midnight's a great company, and you need privacy. You need motherfucking privacy. And Midnight, Charles, the entire team has a solution for privacy. Polymarket. I go to Polymarket to see like what's happening, especially with, obviously politically, what is happening. Especially with the midterms. That's when I tune into Polymarket. Go ahead and look there. Cake Wallet. Like if you want to secure your assets, Cake Wallet is great. You want to use your assets to make payments or pay for things, make purchases, use Cake Pay. Like it's people's reserve. Like I only align myself. If you read my website, I only align myself with products that work. I don't align myself with things that I don't understand, that I can't go ahead and articulate to my audience. People's reserve. Why sell your Bitcoin when you can use your Bitcoin as collateral to buy, let's say, your future house? If you don't have a house, go ahead and borrow against it. These things make sense. These things make sense. Welcome to the breakdown. Episode 2, excuse me, I was going with the time. Episode 696. It is 2:11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We are talking about everything that's happening right now between the US and Iran at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That is the deadline that has been given by the United States of America by President Trump to Iran and the regime, not the people, the regime, to accept what the United States is offering, or as Trump put it today on a tweet from Truth Social, he stated that, let me read this. So he stated a whole civilization will die tonight, never to be brought back again. I don't want that to happen, but it probably will. However, now that we have complete and total regime change, where different, smarter, and less radicalized minds prevail, maybe something revolutionarily wonderful can happen. Who knows? We will find out tonight. One of the most important moments in the long and complex history of the world. 47 years of extortion, corruption, and death will finally end. God bless the great people of Iran. Also, I think this is what he means. Like I'm reading this again, and I think this is what Trump means when he says a whole civilization will die tonight. I think he's talking about the regime. And I think he's talking about the civilization of terrorism that will die tonight. I think that is what he's talking about. For anybody who takes it out of context and says, oh, the people, I don't think that's not his goal. Trump is not going to go after innocent people. But he wants this regime gone. And also at the same time, he knows. I think Trump's frustrated. Truthfully speaking, I think Trump is somewhat frustrated because he thought at this point they'd probably give in after, the military has done a wonderful job. I mean, the military has done, the Department of War has done a great job, and Israel obviously has helped in taking out a lot of things in Iran. A lot of facilities in Iran have been taken out. The defense, and Navy, all these things have been taken out, and they're still not willing to give up. So I think Trump is irritated by that fact that they're not willing to come to the table and really negotiate. So it's like, okay, you're leaving me no other choice. I'm frustrated. I'm going to make sure I take you out. That's Trump's mindset. Now, you can agree or disagree with that. You can agree to disagree with that standpoint, his viewpoint, but that's how he's viewing the situation. He feels that like it is beneficial for the United States of America to take out Iran, put new leadership in there, and have a good relationship with the people of Iran because it benefits the United States of America and the world when there is a healthy regime in place that is looking to work with the world instead of, try to kill people off. It's true though. Like if we sit back and think about it, yeah, who do we want to work with? Do we want to drop money to Iran and allow them to continue to build weapons that can reach us in the United States of America? Fund terrorist cells out there and organizations. This is a no-brainer. This is a no-brainer. Like, it is a no-brainer. It really is a no-brainer. It really is. No-brainer, man. I talked about Yeezy. I talked about crypto. Crypto, listen, I'm telling you right now, with crypto in the markets, anybody who's interested in crypto in the markets, there are investors that are waiting to get in. There are people who have money. There is liquidity on the sidelines waiting to come into the markets. They're not going to come in until there's a solution here in Iran. They are waiting. 100%. By the way, I agree with Kathy Wood when she says that we're not going to have the 90% corrections that we've experienced on Bitcoin in the past. No, we're not going to have that anymore. This is, to her, I think she thinks $60,000 Bitcoin was bottom. I think that 50% corrections are now the new thing moving forward. Michael Saylor has stated that there is no more 4-year cycle. Now, people will argue that. Even Landy will argue that. He's not here today, but Landy would argue that, hey, there are 4-year cycles. A lot of people don't believe that. But then again, there are a lot of people that are trying to sell you a product. So this can go both ways, and this is a good argument. This is an absolutely good topic to go ahead and debate on. But I do feel that there's a lot, from people that I've spoken to, there is a lot of liquidity on the sidelines. People do want to get in. I think you will have, I think we will have an altcoin season, but it will be an altcoin season to where the real working products within our industry, they will go parabolic and they will break their all-time highs. I truly believe. I believe that will happen. I believe Ethereum will do absolutely well. I believe the altcoin market in general will do well. I think Bitcoin will break its all-time high again. A lot of you guys tune in for the memes. I think the memes will make a recovery. I really do believe the memes will make a recovery. But you know what? You people, you guys don't talk about Dogecoin, and you guys talk about all these other assets. You know what? At the end of the day, until we see otherwise, Dogecoin is number one. Shiba Inu is number two. That's it. And the amount of holders that they have is more than anybody else, even including Pepe, and I can name it all. So until somebody overtakes Dogecoin and Shiba Inu, I really don't want to hear it. And if Dogecoin and Shiba Inu can break their all-time highs, that means that Pepe will go higher. It means a lot of things will go higher. A lot of the memes that you're in will go higher. So you should be rooting for things, not be a sports fan. Don't have a sports fan approach to this entire industry. Start rooting. And by the way, I've asked questions on Twitter about crypto. Yesterday I said, what is crypto? What did I say? Let me see what I said yesterday. I said, hold on. This motherfucker said, Unc, why do you always look confused? I don't look confused. This is what happens when you think out loud during a broadcast. This is what happens when your broadcast is not scripted. You're thinking out loud, like, hey, that thought came into my mind. But if that, it's not somebody who's confused. It's somebody who's extremely intelligent, who's trying to dissect the situation live on camera while looking into a camera, while talking into a microphone, while you sit there in your dirty ass underwears and you watch me. And I appreciate you for watching me. Let me go ahead and look at something real quick. I hate people that are just dumb. Dumbass people, man. I said, what's crypto lacking? That's what I said yesterday. And a lot of people, they gave some good takes. A lot of normal people gave some good takes. Less FOMO, more HODL, which I agree with. That's a lost art where people used to believe in something. By the way, it's not one person that can send anything. Can I clarify something for you individuals? A lot of people say people lost motion. This person doesn't have motion no more. This person can't do anything no more. Like, it's never been about one person, by the way. It's never been about one person. It's always been about a community. And I know like some people don't like the word community, but without a community, you are not sending anything. You are not sending a goddamn thing if you cannot build a community that actually believes in XYZ. Like you're not going to do anything. You can go ahead, maybe have a bit of motion and send something for 24 hours, but then it's dead if there's no community. And I've said this since 2016, 17. Without a community, you're dead in the water, man. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter how great your project is. If there is no community to talk to, your project is dead. You can have the greatest concept in the world. If you don't have a community, if you don't have let me get into crypto real quick. You guys think because you've developed something that somebody owes you something. No, you guys you developers refuse to bring on people that they can explain it to the culture. You cannot explain what you built to the culture because you talk in 0101, okay? Nobody understands what I just said. Only you understand what I just said. If you're a developer, you understood 0101 and what that meant. Nobody understands that. Not a single person understands it nor wants to understand it. So you explaining how X, Y, and Z works, not in layman's terms, you've already lost the crowd. In order to bring the crowd in, you need somebody that knows how to tell the story. Think Steve Jobs, okay? Steve Jobs knew how to explain the story. He knew how to take this fucking bottle, okay? He knew how to take this bottle and sell it to you. But he knew how to make you feel some sort of emotion towards this bottle. You guys don't know how to do that. We're faster. So what? Nobody gives a fuck if you're faster. Nobody gives a fuck if your network's faster. Nobody cares. I'm telling you right, everybody's fast. Every protocol is fast. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Why do people buy Beats? Why do people buy Beats and use Beats to work out in? There are actually better quality headphones on the market than Beats. Why do people buy Beats? It's because of the way the presentation, it's the presentation, it is the way it is presented to the general public that makes people go out and spend $300 on Beats. Because they believe that somehow the Beats will allow them to perform better in the gym. That while listening to music, it will allow them to really perform better in the gym. And they put it in layman's terms. You put on these and you are going to double your results. That's the way they kind of present it to you. You put these on, you don't have to hear the outside world. The type of tech we put into this, the way you can listen to music, you can actually feel. And then they present it with Dr. Dre and obviously Dr. Dre don't own these no more, it's Apple. But the way they presented it, it's like, oh shit. And I love Dr. Dre, right? And his beats are dope, and now I can listen to it and it. Y'all don't have that. Y'all don't have that personality. There are people that have that personality within our space, but you refuse to go ahead and bring them on board. But if you did, your project would 20x in terms of revenue. But you refuse to do that because you think that marketing or branding, I should say, is not the way to go. People are going to buy it. People are going to get into this network regardless. No, that's not what people are going to do. That is not what people are going to do. You know why people get into memes? Because there's emotion. There's that emotional factor. That's why people get into memes. You guys scratch your heads like, why are people getting into this bullshit? They're getting into it because that picture, that meme, whatever it is, emotionally captured that person's mind and soul to where they took Solana or Ethereum and went in because they found it relatable. Something our projects can't do is relate with the people. And it should be an easy job because a lot of people are here for crypto, yet you are making it absolutely hard. You're turning it into a tech conference. That's what you're doing. You're turning it into a dev hackathon. And you're talking to people that, yeah, I'm interested in crypto. I don't care how it's built. I don't care. Most people are here saying, how do I make money on this? And if not, how do I make money? Well, how does this concept actually work in the real world? You can't explain it. You cannot explain it. And then you wonder why the market cap is so low. Now you're going out there cursing out everybody else for your fucked up way and your approach of promoting and illustrating what your product or articulating how your product works. And that's the fucking truth. There have been so many really good concepts out here that if it had a real brand manager behind it, top 10, top 20, easy. But what they do is here, well, let's create another blockchain, okay? We'll push it out there. Some of them have genuine interest in making a phenomenal product, and some of them just have a general interest of just taking all the money that comes in from day one and saying, fuck it. It is what it is from here on out. That's it. Welcome to the Breakdown, episode 696. We'll be right back. Be right back after this commercial break.
What first got you excited about blockchains? Think about it. Oh, wait. I bet it wasn't multi-million-dollar hacks, exposed data, or finding somewhere safe to store your seed phrase. Was it? Maybe it was the idea of decentralizing a broken financial system. Maybe it was imagining a world where people own their own data and get to sharing the value it creates. Or maybe it was the promise of a fundamentally better way of connecting, communicating, and transacting. The next phase of the internet that empowers us instead of exploiting us. So why hasn't that happened yet? Why are we still living with the same broken system that blockchains promise to fix? It's because blockchains can't keep a secret. Enabling open, transparent systems was only the first half of the challenge. For blockchains to really change the world, they also have to be able to protect our sensitive data when it matters. And that's why we built Midnight, to bring down the final barrier to mass adoption and unlock the full potential of the decentralized web. Let's build the internet we deserve, together.
Ladies and gentlemen, we all know this in crypto. Ownership matters. That's why Cake Wallet. Cake Wallet gives you full control of your digital assets, all in one easy-to-use application. You can store Bitcoin, Litecoin, Zcash, Monero, and many more with just one secure backup. Swap between coins in seconds. No copying addresses, no complicated steps, and even includes Bitcoin Lightning for faster payments. And with Cake Wallet built in, you can use crypto in real life through debit cards or gift cards. Simple, secure, self-custody. Download Cake Wallet and take control of your crypto. And here we go. For the second day in a row, I was muted and I was given a phenomenal speech. What I was saying is, welcome back to episode 696. We're talking about Trump's ultimatum to the Iranian regime at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If nothing's done, he's about to go ahead and wipe out a whole civilization, in his words. And what I believe what he means by that is he's going to take out every single one of these terrorist son of a bitches, not the Iranian people, but this culture of terrorism. I think that's what he's going after. So they have until 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Hopefully Iran or whoever speaks for the regime comes to the table and says, look, we want to make a deal. But I don't think that's going to happen because I think they're ready to go ahead. Like the president of Iran said, he's willing to go ahead and give up his life for this. So 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we shall see what happens. We shall see what happens. And then I talked about crypto, and I said that a lot of you guys are the reason why like real leaders that were in crypto, real leaders that were in crypto leading. And listen, a lot of people stumble, and that's okay because it was a learning curve for everybody coming into crypto. Crypto was something obviously fucking really brand new. But you had a lot of really good minds and a lot of really good leaders that you guys pushed out for hype men. You pushed out real leadership for hype. And now you're left with these hype men who, I mean, this is what you wanted, right? You tore up, you cut the legs off of real individuals that showed up every single day with their real names out here. Yeah, absolutely. I'm one of them. We show up every single day on this camera, on this microphone. We love crypto. We talk about crypto. We talk about how we can use crypto to escape the centralized world. We talk about how we need to get more people into crypto. But guess what you did? You didn't want this. You wanted to go and support hype people. And the hype people cost you your money. Whatever money you had, the hype people went ahead and cost you that money. It wasn't the leaders of this space. It was the hype people that you chose over us. So that's why, like, I've asked questions just to get the pulse of the crowd. I wanted to get the pulse of the crowd. You imagine you got like this the new generation that came into crypto. They spit on the ground that the OGs walked in, and the OGs were nothing. Most of the OGs were nothing but good to the people here. The OGs built crypto Twitter. The OGs helped build the ground floor and the foundation for crypto, and you spit on the very floor that they built. And now you're stuck with a bunch of morons. That's why look at Pump.Fun. Like, what has it done for you? Pump.Fun has made all the money, and God bless capitalism exists. Pump.Fun has made all the money. Pump.Fun has made absolutely every what billions of dollars? Have they made millions upon? Maybe they've already cracked the billion. What have you done? You blame Trump, but I'm showing you the real. I'm showing you the real things that are happening here in this space. You can blame Trump all you want. Trump's family is taking advantage of crypto because capitalism still exists. So he's just taking advantage. But look at the real companies that made money. Look at the real companies that have made money. They've been platforms that have allowed you to push out contracts, and you've lost the holder mentality, and now you're a chaser, and now you're broke. You're broke because you couldn't stop chasing. They exposed your gambling addiction. And crypto wasn't about gambling. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. Crypto was not about gambling. Crypto has never been about gambling. Crypto was about innovation. Crypto was about tech. Crypto was about peer-to-peer transactions. Crypto was not about gambling. It was not. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. That is a bunch of bullshit. This place has never been about gambling. You've turned it into gambling. And people who are not gamblers have been exposed as gamblers and have exposed themselves as having a gambling addiction. Because that's what it is now. You guys have no belief in nothing. Nothing. And one person can't turn this one person cannot turn this whole shit around. I'm telling you right now. One person, It's never been about the individual. It's always been about the entire community, because the entire community consistently came together for one project, 2, 3, or 4, but legitimate projects. That's how it's always been. Even with the memes, it's always been a community coming together because they believed in that meme. There was something about the meme. There was something about the vibe, the energy. That's what it was. You don't have that anymore. You don't have that in anything. You don't have that in the altcoins. You don't have that in the memes. You just don't have it. That energy is lost. That energy is lost. And it's lost. You know why? Because a lot of real leaders left. They've made their money. They don't need the headache. They don't need you going on to social media attacking them. They're fine. They're on a boat somewhere. They're taking a vacation. They've changed their lives. They owe nothing to you. And that's the craziest part, is that during the time that you had real leadership here, they didn't need to be here. They were here because they wanted to build. They wanted to have fun with the crowd. You made it this. You made it absolute trash. Congratulate yourselves. Congratulate yourselves for the current situation in the crypto markets. Congratulate yourself. And that's serious conversation right now. That's serious talk. But I'll also say this. Good news doesn't always bring price up. Bad news is when usually price goes up. And I've seen it all the time. I've seen it through many cycles. It's always when there's bad news that's when liquidity starts slowly pouring in. Right now we have bad news, right? Everything's bad. People are frustrated. This is the time where sophisticated traders are picking up assets that they know are going to send once the liquidity really starts to get in here. Once this war situation comes to an end, give it this year, you'll see. Give it. Listen, the institutions are buying. The numbers are there. Institutions are buying. They continue to buy. If you're not buying, don't put that on to institutional players. They're buying. They're interested. At these prices, at these current levels, they're interested. You could have probably maybe said it when it was like $126,000, $127,000 Bitcoin that, hey, institutions are not coming in. They're not interested. Okay. At these prices, they're taking a flyer. They're going in, taking a flyer on these assets and saying, okay, this shit might work. And if it does work, I'm making 50x my money. So, okay. That's what's happening here. That is exactly what's happening here. Crypto is in need of leadership. Crypto is in dire need of crypto leadership. Crypto leadership. Leadership in general is necessary right now. I don't know who that leader is. I'm going to tell you that right now. But it's not what you currently have. You guys are looking at the wrong fucking leaders. I can promise you that. You have people telling you that like memes are done with. You have people telling you that all coins are done with. You should be looking else. Like these people never believed in crypto. These are the people that you assigned as leaders and now they're shifting. They've made the pivot to now AI and anything else. Now they're trading the stock markets. They've pivoted away from crypto, but they will come back if crypto has liquidity that's injected into. Do you understand that's not leadership? We had real leadership. Whether it was a bull market or a bear market, we had leaders continue to lead in this motherfucker. That's my problem. And that's your answer. That's your answer to your questions. Why isn't crypto doing anything? It's because you elected the wrong leadership. You went ahead, you pushed away real leaders, you pushed away real figures that were out here for the cause, okay? Day in, day out, 24/7, posting their asses off, breaking shit down to you, helping people when they don't need to help anybody, not getting paid for it at all. They were out here going to conferences where conferences don't even pay them to go out there to talk to you about whether it's Bitcoin, altcoins, or meme tokens. That's what they were doing. Even NFTs, throw NFTs into the mix. I fucking went to 3 NFT conferences. I didn't get paid shit for it. Guess what I had to do? I had to pay $7,000 average just for myself to attend the fucking event. To what benefit? To what benefit? That's what happened. That is the reason why crypto is in its current state. That's why crypto is in its current state. That's why you see the pivoting that's happening. That's why you see the pivots. You chose this. You chose this new leadership that is a Fortnite type of leadership that is happening here. It's Fortnite type of fucking leadership. It really is. The mindset is Fortnite. It's gaming. It's now gaming within the system. And what I mean by that is like we create a token, we get in, we get out, next. Like, no. That wasn't it. That was never it. That was never it. That was never it with Dogecoin. That was never it with Shiba Inu. That was never it with Pepe. I can name the list right now. That was never the objective with memes. It was never the objective with altcoins. And it was never the fucking objective with Bitcoin. Maybe now people can appreciate Bitcoiners a little bit more. Maybe even the Bitcoin maxi. I don't get along with the Bitcoin maxis because I think they've lost their minds when they talk about that that Bitcoin's going to overtake the dollar and shit, and the dollar's going to that shit's insane. That's why I don't share the same opinions as them. But as a Bitcoiner looking at this, thank God for Bitcoin maxis because they hold their positions. They stand on business. Now somebody might throw back at me and say, "Hold up, David, what about those Bitcoiners that have sold off their Bitcoin?" Yeah, good for them. They've held for 8-9 years. Bitcoiners that have held for 8 to 9 years, they deserve to take profit. I don't begrudge them for taking profit. That's the name of the game. If they want to go ahead and switch their Bitcoin for fiat, that's on them. It was never the goal. The goal wasn't to go back to, go to Bitcoin and go back to fiat. But if somebody feels that way, then fuck it. It is what it is. By the way, it's not the institutions that fucking control crypto yet, because right now it's still in the control of retail. Of the very first people that went into Bitcoin, like we're still controlling this shit. But every time somebody sells, obviously, guess who's there to pick it up? It's institutional players. I mean, Michael Saylor is buying Bitcoin faster than they can buy it. What do you think is happening? You think Michael Saylor is just vocal? He's out here. He's telling you what he's doing. You don't think there are more Michael Saylors that are quietly just buying Bitcoin or Ethereum? Yeah, there are. And those Fortune 500 companies haven't even come into the game. They haven't even come into the game. I don't think a lot of people realize what moment we are in crypto. I don't think you guys realize what kind of moment we're in. We are in the 11th hour. So if we don't rally together, and I'm okay with this, by the way, I just want to let you guys know. I'm okay. Actually, I'm not okay with this, but I'm okay with if it happens. Maybe I should put it that way. I'm okay with if it happens. I'm fine. But you're not. If retail doesn't rally around its real leaders, we will lose the keys. And I've said this for years. Rewind my fucking tapes. Rewind the shows that I've done on crypto. I said, if we do not rally together as one cohesive working unit towards making sure that we are at the table with the institutional players, we will absolutely 100% live with a lot of regrets. This is a place we built. We had a part of Whether you were a coder, a developer, innovator, whether you're somebody who used your brand to articulate crypto, we all participated in building, putting out content about crypto at times where crypto was not accepted by the general public, where people thought crypto was illegal and crypto was bad and crypto was only used for money laundering and human sex trafficking, all this shit that was put out there by the anti-crypto army, Senator Warren and others, mainstream media dogging us, PayPal, Warren Buffett, all these people, Jamie Dimon dogging the shit out of this place. And now these are the same people that are about to take over. They're about to take the keys to the son of a bitch. What are you going to do? Your hype men don't have a strategy. Your hype men are just selling you a product. They're always selling. That's it. That's really it. They're always selling, but they don't have the leadership to lead within the space. You should pray that the leaders, the real leaders in the space do come back. Do come back into this shithole that y'all created here and clean it up. It's like leaving a substitute teacher in place for 2 weeks because the teacher went ahead and took a vacation. That's what happened here in crypto. It's like y'all elected to have the substitutes come in here, but did you really learn anything? Right? Because when substitute teachers come in to class and sub in for the teacher, you're not learning. Even if the sub wants to go ahead and teach you something, you're not really trying to learn. You're like, oh, sub's in. I don't really got to do work today. We're not getting homework. That's the truth. That is 100% the truth. And it's sad. It is. You know what it is? It fucking bothers me because I've been in crypto for so fucking long and we've done absolutely great things here up until a year and a half, 2 years ago. Up until a year and a half, 2 years ago, I don't know how it fucking happened. Like, I really don't know how it happened, but it happened. And now you have this fuckery. Literally this fuckery. And that's why a lot of people have elected to go into Bitcoin. A lot of people have said, you know what, fuck it. I'm not going to play in this space because it's all fucked up here. The one place I can go into that I know will thrive is Bitcoin. That's what's happened. I know that I can go into Bitcoin and it's going to thrive, so I'm going into Bitcoin. It'll thrive. And I have a better chance. Fuck it, I'll take the 2 to 3x. I don't want to take the negative 90% that I took for the last year to 2 years. That's the truth. That is the fucking truth. AJ, I can't ever go back to spaces. I can't ever. I diluted my brand by being in spaces. I allowed too many people to come close to me in spaces. That's the thing. I can never do spaces. God bless anybody who does spaces, man. Maybe you run them differently. See, I'm more of a guy who likes to be a part of the crowd, but that can go ahead and be my Achilles heel and has been my Achilles heel. So I choose not to be on spaces. But when spaces were first introduced and only a limited amount of people could have a space like me, that was fun. When you had 11,000 people in a space listening, waiting to get up on stage to talk about an asset because they were passionate about it. Now, spaces getting 45 people in them, and everybody's selling you their own fucking token. Are you watching any of this? Like, people are just now coming onto X. Hey, look at my token. But hey, look at my token. But hey, look at everybody got a fucking token. But yet this entire space got no money. So what are you doing? You fucked up. You fucked up. Not AJ, but you fucked up. Okay? You absolutely destroyed this fucking space. Pepe took off in a bearish market. It was in a bearish market, here comes Pepe. There wasn't much liquidity in the market. I remember this. I was at NFT NYC. Fuck. I was at NFT NYC when Pepe came out. And I was, why did I go to NFT? Why? Why did I even go there? Why? Welcome to the breakdown, episode 696. I'm hyped today. But it's a serious day. Today's a serious day. It is 2:53 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and today is very serious because Trump, and I'll read it again, Trump has stated, a whole civilization will die tonight, never to be brought back again. I don't want that to happen, but it probably will. However, now that we have complete and total regime change, where different, smarter, and less radicalized minds prevail, maybe something revolutionary hopefully can happen. Who knows? We will find out tonight. One of the most important moments in the long and complex history of the world, 47 years of extortion, corruption, and death, will finally end. God bless the great people of Iran. So tonight, he's been promising. He's been promising that he's going to do something that the world has never seen. So I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means. But we're smart enough to understand, could that mean him dropping a nuke, him dropping a weapon that we haven't seen yet from the United States military that is capable of absolutely decimating the motherfucking place? Is this where we're going? We shall see. I hope cooler heads prevail. I hope this, the president of Iran comes to the table and says, okay, let's negotiate. But I really don't feel like you can negotiate with these people. I really don't feel that way. I don't feel, even if there was a deal that was struck 2 months from now, you'd probably be in the same situation. That's the truth. You'd probably end up in the same situation. So yeah, tonight, news like this affects the markets. Bottom line, politics affects crypto. It affects the markets, TriFi. Yeah, something like this, you're watching. The entire world is watching this now. The leader of the free world has made a tweet saying a whole civilization will die tonight. They're not reading the rest. They're reading that line, a whole civilization will die tonight, is what everybody is stuck on right now, including myself. I understand he's talking about the regime, and anybody who thinks in that way and has that philosophy, they are gone. I'm going to wipe them off the planet. He's not talking about the Iranian people. But when you're wiping off these type of people, what exactly are you talking about here? Are we talking about completely destroying and annihilating? I mean, flattening. Absolutely flatten Iran. I don't know. I'm anti-war, man. I am anti-war, and I'm anti-war. I repeat that, but I am anti-war. I am anti-war. 100%. I'm looking at some of the comments. Here's a guy. See, I have a lot of people that listen into the show, but they don't talk in the chat, but they'll talk in the tweets. They'll talk in the actual thread. This guy said, stick to crypto and get the fuck out of politics. It's funny. They don't look to see that I ran for office, but get the fuck out of politics. Even though I've been talking about politics for fucking years now, but okay, thanks. You'd have more credibility by just enlisting in the military than being sidelined cheerleader to watch others die because of weapons of mass destruction. The fuck are we talking? I don't have time. I really don't have time. I really don't have time. I really don't. People are nuts. People are gonna believe whatever they want, whatever they fucking want to believe. Honestly speaking, people will always believe whatever they fucking want to believe. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. I'm trying to break this whole thing down, and I have fucking deranged people. I love it. I get deranged ass people that tune in. They won't go into. By the way, you can't. Some people can't go into the comment section. That's a problem. That's a Twitter problem. That's not a me problem. If you ever go to your, it's the Periscope backend for Live Studio. You can elect whether or not you allow everybody to talk, or people that follow you, or people that follow others to kind of reply. So that's the situation there. I didn't know that. I didn't know that up until a week ago when it was told to me. I will be back on TikTok on Thursday. Thursday at 2:27 p.m. is when I will be allowed to be on TikTok again and live streaming. America, man. If you live in America, you're rooting for the American team, right? You're rooting for America, right? If you're an American citizen, you're rooting for America to win. That's the only way that I can see it. Good, bad, or indifferent, man. Sometimes we get players on our team that we don't like, but we root for them because ultimately, if they win, we win, right? It's the same way I look at Trump. You might not like Trump, but he's leading, he's the captain of Team America. So, like, if you're not rooting for Trump to win, then you're rooting for the downfall of America. So that, to me, it doesn't make sense. I can't make sense out of it. We might disagree on politics and certain policies, but ultimately you want the president of the United States to win. I wanted Biden to win. Okay, I wanted Obama to win. I wanted Clinton to win. I wanted Bush to win because that's the leader of the free world. That's the leader of the United States of America. I can't go against my country because it doesn't make sense. I'm a part of this country. I was born in this country. I bleed red, white, and blue. How can I go ahead and go against my own country? It's crazy when you have and you listen to some of these people. And yeah, you're allowed to use the First Amendment. Freedom of speech is great. You're allowed to go ahead and talk about what you don't like, but ultimately supporting the president, supporting America, and rooting for America to win regardless is always the right way, man. Like it's a no-brainer. It shouldn't even be questioned. And you shouldn't ever be questioning it. If you're questioning it, then maybe you shouldn't be in this country. Again, make sure that you take put this in the right context. Don't start fucking twisting it up. What I'm saying here is you're allowed to criticize the president because that is your right, but ultimately you want the United States of America to win. To root for Iran to win against our military means that you are not a real American. You are absolutely not a real American. You despise America and you shouldn't be here. And we should allow the people waiting in line to have your spot because they will be more productive individuals for this country. That's all I'm saying. You don't like America? Go, leave. Go to another place. Go to the UK. Go to the UK. Go live in the UK. See how that pans out for you, where you can't even speak without getting smacked upside your head or taken to jail. Go ahead. Do it. Leave. Why don't you leave? You're not willing to leave. You know why? Because you know you wouldn't be able to get away with half the shit that you say. You would not be able to get away with half of the things that you say on social media. Go to Australia and see how that work out for you. Australia and the UK, go for it. Go for it. Go ahead and talk freely out there. Go ahead and protest in Russia. Let me see you protest in Russia in front of Putin. Go for it. Go. You want to see real dictatorships? You want to see real kings? Go out there and see what happens. Go out there. You won't. You won't go out there because you are privileged. You are privileged to have been born in the United States of America, and you know nothing other than being in this country and living under these sets of rules, where the rules benefit you, where you can say whatever the fuck you want. Whereas if you lived in a banana republic or in a third world country, you wouldn't be able to say shit. You wouldn't have time to say shit. How about that? You wouldn't have time to be on social media eating your chunky soup, okay? You'd be looking for food. You'd be outside selling food or selling some sort of product to make some sort of money so you can buy food, so you can buy some clean water. You should be fucking honored that you're on this fucking land. And here you are rooting against the very people that protect all your rights, protect your freedom of speech that you use against the president and his entire administration. Yeah, those people, the military that you're rooting against, yeah, those individuals protect your rights to go ahead and bitch all day. I'm telling you, some of you people are a waste of oxygen, okay? That is the absolute 100% truth. Waste of fucking oxygen. Waste of oxygen. I see everybody's now, a few people are streaming now, and all the topics are Trump. All the topics are what is going to happen at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You got rooms open. Every single thing I'm looking at, it really is all about Trump and what's going to happen. It really is. We're at, let's see. Uh-oh, Moose is here. You should have seen me yesterday when they went ahead and they fucking took me off of TikTok for 3 days. It's not even my fault. I wish it was my fault. Let's see. Chinese UN delegate says passing the Strait resolution while the US threatens to annihilate a civilization would send the wrong message. So China's trying their hardest. The Guardian is reporting Epstein outrage unlikely to subside despite Trump's Iran war. I don't know what else anybody fucking wants at this point. What else does anybody else want at this point? What else? He released all the fucking files. What else do you want? What else do you want? You can't bring charges on somebody if there's no charges to bring. Let the DOJ do their fucking job. You guys are fucking nuts, I gotta tell you. Iranian media reports a military source saying oil price will reach $200 if Trump acts on his threat. Here's a message apparently from somebody from Iran within the military, within Iran's military. God forbid, Moose. If Trump wants to fall from one hole to another with his madness, we have prepared a black hole for him from which it will be impossible for him to get out. Trump's threats are more due to his desperation and helplessness. Oh my God. These are the type of messages that are going to ignite Trump to do what he wants to do at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Do you understand the wild card here? I don't think nobody's talking about the wild card. It's Bibi. Like, here's what I'm fucking scared of. Here's actually what I'm worried about. An hour from now, the president of Iran calls Trump and says, you know what? Let's have a conversation. Let's talk. Fucking an hour later, you have fucking Israel send out their fucking jet fighters just attacking Iran. That's what I'm fucking worried about. Ain't nobody talking about the wild card. Israel wants to flatten, Bibi particularly wants to flatten Iran and get rid of that entire regime. He doesn't want them to exist. There is no peace in his eyes with these people. I'm telling you, man. The Pope came out. The Pope Leo says Trump's threats to the entire Iranian populations are unacceptable according to the AFP report. The CIA used a futuristic new tool called Ghost Murmur to locate and rescue the second U.S. pilot who was shot down over Iran, the New York Post reports. The secret technology uses long-range quantum. I should not mention the word quantum. Landy might hear this from wherever he is. Quantum. U.S. Iranian hackers. U.S. says Iranian hackers are targeting critical infrastructure, resulting in operational disruption and financial loss. Let's see. Dated crude oil price hits a record of $144. The first vice president of Iran states that the government is ready for all scenarios. The Pope also says that attacks on civilian infrastructure are against international law. Who is the Pope? Respectfully, respectfully, but come on. Exiled crown prince calls for Iran's armed forces to overthrow the Iranian regime. That's not going to happen, obviously. France's foreign minister says that he hopes Trump does not go ahead with his threats against Iran. Do you see? This is a huge story. When I came on here, today's broadcast, I wasn't trying to push doom and gloom. I wasn't trying to get more viewers and shit like that. No, I was sitting here and I'm reading all this beforehand. And I'm like, you have a lot of people that are worried that Trump might take a nuke and just drop it like right on Iran. Man, this is something I haven't seen it in my lifetime. The craziest shit that I've seen was Iraq, shock and awe. Like, that's the craziest shit. I mean, in terms of like war, unless you want to talk about 9/11, that was crazy. 9/11 was absolutely crazy. I couldn't believe what I was watching. I still lived in New York City. I couldn't believe what I was watching. Like, that shit was a movie that day. And I had family in the city and I was fucking worried. I was like, holy shit, this is crazy. This is fucking absolutely crazy what's happening. The world's, by the way, for crypto, the world's largest derivative exchange, CME Group, just confirmed they will launch a 24/7 Bitcoin trading next month. So there you go. There you go. This just in, B-52s are departing AFR, Fairford. Local video shows a loaded B-52 taking off. 7-hour combat flight time to Iran puts them in striking range by 8 p.m. Breaking. B-52s have left RAF Fairford loaded. And their ETA, which they launched 2 hours ago, will put them right in at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's wild. That is wild. Welcome to the breakdown. We'll be right back right after this commercial break.
What first got you excited about blockchains? Think about it. Oh wait. I bet it wasn't multi-million-dollar hacks, exposed data, or finding somewhere safe to store your seed phrase. Was it? Maybe it was the idea of decentralizing a broken financial system. Maybe it was imagining a world where people own their own data and get to sharing the value it creates. Or maybe it was the promise of a fundamentally better way of connecting, communicating, and transacting. The next phase of the internet that empowers us instead of exploiting us. So why hasn't that happened yet? Why are we still living with the same broken system that blockchains promise to fix? It's because blockchains can't keep a secret. Enabling open, transparent systems was only the first half of the challenge. For blockchains to really change the world, they also have to be able to protect our sensitive data when it matters. And that's why we built Midnight, to bring down the final barrier to mass adoption and unlock the full potential of the decentralized web. Let's build the internet we deserve, together.
Ladies and gentlemen, we all know this in crypto. Ownership matters. That's why Cake Wallet. Cake Wallet gives you full control of your digital assets, all in one easy-to-use application. You can store Bitcoin, Litecoin, Zcash, Monero, and many more with just one secure backup. Swap between coins in seconds. No copying addresses, no complicated steps, and even includes Bitcoin Lightning for faster payments. And with Cake Wallet built in, you can use crypto in real life through debit cards or gift cards. Simple, secure, self-custody. Download Cake Wallet and take control of your crypto. Welcome back to one of the most sexiest fucking shows. No, I'm not kidding. Welcome back to the breakdown, episode 696. I guess this is a special edition. Holding this a little bit longer. I'm trying to see what's happening here. Obviously, we have Trump that has issued a warning for Iran that tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, if a deal isn't made, if progress isn't made, that he will, in his words, let me read his words. Let me read his words to you, for those that are just tuning in. A whole civilization will die tonight, never be brought back again. I don't want that to happen, but probably will. However, now that we have complete and total regime change, where different, smarter, and less radical minds prevail, maybe something revolutionary, wonderful can happen. Who knows? We will find out tonight. One of the most important moments in the long and complex history of the world. 47 years of extortion, corruption, and death will finally end. God bless the great people of Iran. So that's what you're looking forward to right now. Not that you're looking forward to it, but you get where I'm going with this. That is President Trump saying a whole civilization will die tonight. Whole civilization will die tonight. And I know what I'm listen, I'm guessing at what he's alluding to, and that is he's going right after this terroristic regime and not the people of Iran. He's only told you that he is looking to go ahead and free Iran. It's all he's ever stated, is that he wants to free Iran. I got to tell you, I'm like, before we get back to it, I'm looking. I should showcase this to everybody. I will, maybe next week. But I'm watching myself in the monitors, and I got to tell you, man, this is no wonder people tune in. Like, I would tune in to see myself. One sexy son of a bitch. Yeah, 100%. 100%. Man, there are a lot of people on right now. There are a lot of people on right now that are talking about this right now. That are talking about this topic right now. Kuwait is closing up shops and businesses. People are being told to take shelter. Like I said earlier, B-52s are now on their way. They have taken off from Fairford with a massive payload, and B-52s are heading towards Iran, because 2 hours ago when they took off, 2 hours, 7 hours, they'll be in at 8 p.m. The math is mathing 100%. So again, I really hope the president of Iran calls up and says, let's talk. Let's have that conversation. Let's sit down. Because I think that's I see Trump. I really do see Trump doing this. I see Trump, whatever it is, whatever's on those planes, whatever are on those B-52s, I see Trump giving the signal a full go. They obviously lifted off. Full payload. That's what's being reported. Full payload lifted off, and they're traveling to Iran. So the whole line is, a whole civilization will die tonight, never to be brought back again. I don't want that to happen, but it probably will. I take that wording as he's going to go strictly after the regime and totally destroy them. Some people will take it as he wants to completely take out not only the regime, but the Iranian people. So that's what you're going to get. Like I said, there's no way for him to win. Like, if you look at this conflict right now, he has to be saved. This is what people will say. He has to be saved by Iran coming to the table. That's a saving point. If Iran doesn't come to the table, he has to go ahead and do whatever he's set forth to do. I'm sure they've already planned this out. Trump doesn't want to be there anymore. Midterms are coming. Trump wants to go out with a victory here. They had a flawless victory in Venezuela, Panama Canal. Now they're in Iran, and I'm pretty sure they knew what they were going. See, when people say that Trump didn't know what he was getting himself into, they have so much data. They have history. They're privy to information from other administrations. They know what they're up against. They got the intelligence to know what they're up against. So for him to make this call to go into Iran, he knew what he was getting himself into. Trump knew exactly how long, I would think he would know how long this operation would take. And yes, he's on social media going back and forth telling, putting it out there, like, come negotiate, like, let's end this quickly. You see the power. But Iran, this regime doesn't give a fuck. He's battling with people that don't care. Like, did you see they put citizens around the power plants? They don't care. You're battling against That's why it's like, will somebody come to the table? I don't know. Maybe this world is waiting. Maybe this world is waiting. Maybe every single country is waiting to see if Trump is actually going to do this, if he's not bluffing. I mean, to me, that's how I kind of look at this. Trump is, let's call for what it is. You guys know I'm big time Trump, big time MAGA. Well, let's call for what this is right now. The entire world is watching. Russia's watching. China's watching. Every single nation that hates the United States of America is watching. And even the countries that don't hate the United States of America, they're watching. They want to see what's going to happen here. They can come out with all these cute press releases. Hey, you guys shouldn't be doing this, that, and the third. But I'm telling you right now, like, they are watching. If Trump delivers on what he's saying, if Trump does what he says he's going to do, which I don't know what the fuck it is, by the way. Nobody knows what it is. Yeah, he said a whole civilization will die tonight, never to be brought back again. I don't want that to happen, but probably will. We don't know what that means. We really don't know what that fucking means. Yes, we can figure it out. We're pretty smart, but we really don't know what that means yet. We don't know. Iranians form human chains around bridges and power plants in response to Trump's speech. Of course, they're being forced to do that. We know this. I've spoken to how many Iranians have come onto my program, and we've spoken about this conversation. We've spoken about this topic. 90% of Iranians want to get rid of this regime. They are happy that the United States of America, that Trump has gone out here and launched this operation against Iran. But also at the same time, I'm gonna keep it a buck. The Iranian people got to do their part, man. Y'all have to do your part here too. Trump is doing everything he can from his standpoint. Y'all have to, if you guys really want the regime change, which you've come onto my program, we've talked one-on-one. I've talked to you guys in spaces. I've heard your voices. But y'all have to want this as well. You have to want this as well. For me, I am absolutely happy about taking out Iran from the standpoint that they cannot have a nuclear weapon. 100%. Iran having a nuclear weapon is death to everybody. It hurts everybody. I don't care who it is. So that's the bottom line there. Yeah, my feelings will never change on that. My feelings will never change on that. So that's bottom line. And to protect Iran is crazy because Iran has lied about everything, has lied about not making a nuclear weapon, has lied about not having missiles that can hit the United States of America or the UK, which we already know they do have the capability of doing so. They have attacked their neighbors, and their neighbors can't stand them. That's the thing. The neighbors can't stand them. They've come out for years saying what kind of threat Iran is. Today's that day. It's not up to me. Ladies and gentlemen, when you come into my show and you're watching me, this is me just breaking stuff down. My opinion does not matter. At the end of the day, guess what? The president of the United States of America is going to make that call. And you're going to have to live with it just like I'm going to have to live with it. And that is it. Hope cooler heads prevail. I'm anti-war, don't like seeing this. I hate being repetitive. I know people are just tuning in right now. We have this show on for the last 2 hours and 43 minutes talking about this very subject, besides crypto, obviously. But if there's one country on this planet that I do not trust, or one of them that I do not trust, it's Iran. That's 100%. Like this, I would have rather the United States of America have gone after Iran than after Iraq. Like I always thought the Iraqi war was not necessary. Like Iraq, like I never agreed with Iraq with the shock and awe, all that shit. I never agreed with it. Iran, that is a country that I will never give the benefit of the doubt to. They are willing to attack their neighbors. They're willing to attack their own people. Nobody talks about the 40, 50,000 people that they've killed, their own people. Nobody talks about this issue because it's not important to people to talk about that issue because it doesn't fit into their narrative. Let's not talk about the 40 to 50,000 people, innocent Iranian people that have voiced their opinions about the regime that were killed. Let's not talk about that because that doesn't fit the narrative. It's funny, everybody talks about everything else, but they will never touch this subject because it doesn't fit. It doesn't fit the narrative, right? If it doesn't fit the narrative, we're not going to talk about it. It is what it is, man. That's why this world's so fucked up. This is why the world's so fucked up. I respect Dow. Dow says Israel led the U.S. into this without ever watching a tape of Trump talking about Iran being an absolute threat. Like I said, this narrative will be spun hard. And I hope everybody understands this. Jewish people have the ultimate pride. Israelis as well. And I'm going to tell you why. And I'm going to explain it to you. And intelligent people will understand this. Obviously, those with lower IQs lower than room temperature won't understand it. After World War II, after Germany, the Nazis, what the Nazis did to the Jewish people, exterminated 6 million plus, along with Christians and Catholics and Polish, a lot. We could talk about everything that happened. Jews said they will never, ever, ever, ever allow anybody to belittle them again. Never, ever, ever will they bend the knee and go silent. That's why you see, like people say that Israelis are arrogant. Yeah, they are arrogant. They will not put their heads down. They will not put, whether you like that or not, they will not put their heads down. A lot of Jewish people, first of all, a lot of American Jews, This has only just started with the Candace Owens and all these people that have come out and they're being paid by, of course, Qatar and all these groups to go ahead and push hate speech and the hate narrative. But Jews in America, like, what, running media? What the fuck are you talking about? Somebody's gonna say, "Hold on, David, you have a media company, big deal." Let's talk running media, mainstream media. You're crazy. You're absolutely crazy. There's 16 million Jews in this entire world. 16 million Jews in this entire world. If you blame Jewish people for your problems, you have bigger problems. You need to go ahead and see a therapist. I can promise you that. I can promise you that because most Jews, I can tell you like 99% of Jews are not in positions of power. Okay? Not in positions of power. 0 positions of power. If a few Jews are in the positions of power here, there are also a few Christians, a few Catholics, a few Muslims as well in the same lineup. So please save the bullshit. This is all being pushed by people that just don't like Jews. And they'll say Zionists, well, if you're not a Zionist, then like you're okay. No. Zionists basically to these people mean Jews. Okay. Like, and they can't stand Jews. Bottom line, people can't stand Jews. And it's only because it's been pushed out there by social media, by obviously real alt-right members. People have pushed this narrative out there and they slowly wanted to tell you, no, you're not, I like, if you're Jewish, but I don't like a Zion. It's the same thing. It is the same exact thing. Do not get it twisted. It's the exact same thing. 100%. Anyway, it is 3:35 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If something does pop off, I will come on here and do a pop-up, an emergency pop-up tonight at, you know what, I might even pop up at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Obviously, to see what happens here. Maybe we'll bring some people on. I don't know. I pray for this world because this world has lost its mind, 100%. This world has absolutely fucking lost its mind. There is no middle ground here anymore. This world has absolutely lost it. That's the way I see it. That's the way I see it. Absolutely lost their minds. And it is what it is. It's sad. It's sad to see. It's sad to see. It is sad to see. Thank you for tuning in. Thursday we will be back on TikTok. The suspension will be over at 2:27 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I really hope Trump doesn't have to do what he wants to do at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I really hope that somebody jumps in and resolves this situation without violence. That's it. I really hope that's what happens. But it looks like with the B-52s launching off, it looks like something will happen. What that is, I don't know. I don't know. I hope a nuclear weapon isn't dropped, though. I'll say that. I hope a nuke isn't dropped. I know a lot of people really, like, off camera, behind the scenes, I know a lot of people are hoping for it. And they won't say it. And even the Democrats and liberals are hoping that this happens because they know what kind of regime they know this terroristic regime needs to go. And they would probably be rooting for something like this. But I hope it doesn't happen, man. I hope this president over there in Iran comes to the conclusion it's not worth it. But hey, they all said that they're willing to give up their lives for this. So I guess. To that I say, God bless our military. God bless America. Land that I love, stand beside her and guide her. Like I am an American. I live in America. I am telling you right now, the way I think, it's America first. Like, I don't care. I don't have to agree with everything, but I will never, never put anything ahead of America. Like that's bottom line. If this is what our administration feels is the right move, then so be it. Thank you for tuning into the breakdown. Episode 696. We are now 3 episodes away. 3 episodes away from, after this show, 3 episodes away from 700. That's official, unofficially, way more than that, but official 700. Shout out to the sponsors, Midnight, Poly Market, Cake Wallet, and People's Reserve. We got more to talk about in terms of partnerships and all that good stuff, and conferences and where I'm speaking. Yeah, cash out. Pray for peace, man. Praying for peace, man. Yeah, that's a good thing. This world's lost its mind. This world has absolutely lost it's lost its mind. Sad. I honestly, I really wish some of you guys grew up in the 90s and early 2000s, man. What a great time. What a great time. People socialized. There wasn't any phones. You weren't texting at the table. You would go out and you would have an actual conversation. There were conversations. You sat and you had conversations with people, and wow, what a concept, right? Talking to each other, and it didn't really matter race, culture, nationality, none of that mattered. It's just like you'd sit, and maybe it's just a New York thing. Maybe it's because I grew up in New York City. Maybe it's that where you got to sit down with all types of people, and you just had convos and conversations. It was fun. And you'd stay at you'd stay at a lounge until 3:00 in the morning, and you're just having a convo. You're having great conversations. Even if you're debating, you agree to disagree, like men, like gentlemen, like women, like it's just a convo. And there's none of this around, no phone. You're just like, you're having a great time. And now we look at this current society and it's all fucked up. It is absolutely fucked up. You can't walk away from your phone without feeling like you just lost your left arm or your right arm. Like, you have to be on social media 24/7. Look at the way people walk. Their necks are all bent over, look hunchback and shit because they're staring at their phone. People are crossing the street looking at their phones. There is no conversation. And politically, everybody, there's left and right, and there's no middle. There's absolutely no middle. People say they're middle, but they're not middle. They've already picked a side. You can't even talk to your friends about any topic now. You can't even talk about religion. It's gotten that bad. So I pray for healing. I pray for a uniter, honestly speaking. I pray that somebody comes in and unites not just the United States of America, but the world, man, because that's what a lot of you guys need. God in your life. Seriously, y'all need God, because y'all rooting for death. Everybody's rooting for death. Nobody's rooting for peace. That's the craziest part. You know, a lot of people are, they tell me they're God-fearing people. They love God, this, that, and the third, but at the same time they say that, they're rooting for violence and shit, man. Like, God's not rooting out here telling you to go ahead and be violent or say disrespectful things to people. It's weird. I'm telling you, this society has absolutely lost it. But you know why? It's the narratives that have been pushed out there by the real people running the show, and that's the people that you'll never see. They're behind the curtains. They're putting out these narratives. They're paying the people, your favorite influencer that's out there talking about, cultures and religions and all that stuff. White people, black people, brown people, all types of people. They're pushing these narratives now. They're out here pushing narratives, and you start believing it, and you're watching these videos. And you're like, oh shit, and now I gotta hate this person. That's wild, man. You guys need to grab a Bible, a Torah, or whatever, okay? and start like actually getting into the stuff that you're preaching about. And I'm not talking about your favorite influencer. I'm talking about you guys talking about I believe in God, but yet you do things that God wouldn't do. Anyway, on that note, I'm fucking out. I'll see you tomorrow. You'll get to see me. I see you. We'll see each other tomorrow. Episode 697. Thank you very much, and I do pray nothing happens tonight. I really do. Like that, to end this show, I really hope nothing happens. I would not get excitement to see something happening. No thrill out of seeing something like that happen. But we will, I don't want to say it is what it is, but we shall see, right? We shall see what happens. Yeah, I know they already bombed the island. I know. I'm reading it. They sent the B-52s out. I mean, like, the B-52s going out like that. When you send out the B-52s with full payload, pray. Yeah, that's all you can do is pray. All you can do is pray. Anyway, on that note, I'm out.